it's an honor to be part of the team for Auburn University. I also have one of my counterparts on the team, Kim Mott, who is also on the call. So between the two of us, we really just wanted to make sure that we were able to provide you with information, a good overview kind of in the process, and then both be able to answer questions regarding the My Benefits portal registration, kind of from A to Z. So with that, you should see on the page, and I will be sending, as I mentioned, I'm not sure if everybody was on the call when Patrick and I were speaking earlier, I'll be sending this PDF to the HR team as well as the demo presentation so that you'll also have that as reference material later on, even after open enrollment throughout the year. Because I know sometimes, you may not use this information today, or you may need it a week or two from now or a month from now, and this will be a good reference for you to go back to, and a tool to kind of walk you through so that you can just do a refresher if you need to do registration, or just kind of see the ins and outs and what all features and services you can view through the My Benefits portal. So this will just kind of show you the My Benefits registration. So you can go a couple of different ways. You can either do the online through the metlife.com/benefits or mybenefits.metlife.com. And you'll see that page on the right side. It's got a little family. And then you're going to go in and next stage. I just kind of walk you through this. And some of you may have this up and you may be kind of going along through this as in registering as we go through, and that's fine too. But then you're going to select the name. So you're going to look for Auburn University, which would be your employer. Then you're going to go down and it's going to ask you to select whether you would like to log in or create a new account. If you have never been logged in to the My Benefits or the Vision, you're going to want to say create a new account. So your process may be a little different if you're creating a new account versus if you are logging in because you've already created an account previously. So you'll do create an account or register now. And then you're going to go into the next steps, following what will come up, and you'll see this little guide right here. It says your first name, last name, email address, the type of phone number you have, landline or mobile. And then enter that information, your date of birth, your zip code. And then as you go down, depending on, and the setup should request an EEID number, which is your banner ID number. This Auburn University does not use the social. So you're going to enter your banner ID number, which is also what it should ask you for on yours. Now, remember, this is a demo. So the demo is not going to be specific to how Auburn's is worded. You'll just see that differently. You'll see it stating EEID number. Okay. And then you're going to click next. And then as we continue through the process, and again, if you've registered or if you are registering, you'll kind of see these steps as I go through, but you'll have this resource to use and reference in the future to go in and do your registration after this call, should you choose to do so. And then it's going to ask for a verification process. So it's a couple of different ways. And if you've registered on any, accounts lately or recently, a lot of them are doing kind of a two-step process just to make sure that you are registering, that you have the intent and are wanting to register, just because once you're able to access the My Benefits portal, it does have personal private information. So we just want to make sure that the person registering or requesting access is indeed who they say they are, and they should have access to this information. So that's what the identity verification process is and the steps. You'll choose how you want to receive that kind of additional security confirmation. Once you get that, you'll go back in, you'll enter your code, or depending on how you actually requested it, so whether it be a code or it be an email, you'll complete that process and those steps. And then your email, we do suggest that you use your email as your username. That's just kind of an easy username to remember. You can use something else. It's just that again, it may be easier, and it usually is easier, just to kind of remember, oh, I used my email. Now, whether you use work or home or a personal email, you'll have to probably remember that. And again, it's up to you. You can use either. That's your choice. You will enter your password. So you'll create a password, again, something that you can easily remember. And then you can select remember this device. So if you're on a personal device or if you're on a work device, sometimes work devices don't allow you to remember a password. So you may want to do registration on a private or personal device that would allow you to remember this device or checkbox. So just kind of know that when you're doing that, it's remembering the device that you're on. So if you log in with another one, you may have to enter your information again because it's not that same device that you initially logged or registered in using, so it doesn't know that information. So just kind of know if it asks that for you, why it's asking it, because you're on a different device. Your device will be remembered for a maximum of 6 months. Again, that's just kind of a security thing. So if it's more than 6 months, let's say you initially log in, register, and create your account, and it's not until July of next year that you decide you need to go back in, kind of look at some information, see when you're eligible for services, and you would have to go back in and put your login information again because the device would not remember it from the previous login. Okay. And then once you've completed all that information, you're going to hit submit, and then you will be successfully submitted, and you'll get a congratulatory email or message. And so here I'm going to kind of switch gears, and I'm going to bring up once you're in. So you've logged in, you successfully created your account. Now what can I do? What services, what different functions within the MyBenefits system are available to you? And that's what this screen that I have up now is going to present and show you. So you'll see, first off, the tabs at the top. So there's several different functions, and as you click on each tab, they'll change to green, meaning I can select, and I will select here in a moment, and I'll go through each of those to find more and additional information and support of the system under the MyBenefits page and portal. So again, remember, this is what you're going to see once you successfully create an account, register, or if you've already registered, creating an account, and you go back in and go straight through as a login. This will be what they call your dashboard or your landing page. You'll see subscriber information. So you'll see all of your information provided, the plan, group number, your effective date that you've been on the plan, and your network. So you are Superior National Network. So that will list the network that you're on. And I should go back and give a little bit of information. Not everybody knows kind of the connection or the link between MetLife and Superior. So just so you know, Superior Vision was purchased by MetLife the end of December 2022. So Superior Vision is a product is one of the products. So we're a family of products that MetLife offers. It did not change, as you know, because you've been on the plan. It did not change the network or the plan structure, but that's kind of where that relationship comes. And I know it's had a little bit of confusion, so I just wanted to share that little bit of information to kind of how do those two correlate. And it is because Superior Vision is in the family of products that are owned by MetLife. But you're still the Superior National Network. So if a provider ever asks you, what is your network? Your comment and your reply should be Superior National. Okay. Family members. So if you have dependents that are covered on the plan, those should also be listed here. So you should see yourself leading first, and then following by spouse, and then any dependent children listed on the plan, their relationship, their date of birth. So if there's ever a concern or a question, what is the date of birth listed for my dependents, you are able to go to your dashboard and confirm that information. And then coverage date, so you'll list your coverage date. And then if anybody were to term off the plan, let's say a dependent was no longer covered or a spouse was no longer covered, If there was a term date, you would see that coverage through having a date listed there. That would indicate a term date, that their coverage has specifically termed. So they're, and then the others would show NA, showing they were still active on the plan. You can click on each individual to view the benefits. So currently displaying for in-network is for Tom. And again, this is just our demo. So this is not a real person's benefits that we're looking at. This Tom is our demo. And it shows you for your materials copay what your costs associated with that would be, which is for this particular demo would be a $35. Again, this is not Auburn University's plan. So when you're looking at this, know that these are not the benefits for Auburn. These are the benefits for the demo. And then it would just show, again, depending on your coverage, your availability, what the cost associated with each service listed. So you can kind of see the service, the frequency. Again, it will be custom to your plan. So when you log in and you've created your account, it's going to bring in the plan specific and the details specific to Auburn University's plan design. And then you'll see remaining balance, available, and then the next date available. So if you're looking to find out, can I have an eye exam? Am I eligible for an eye exam? Am I eligible to get a new pair of glasses? And when that next eligible date would be, you would see that information listed under next available date. I am not seeing comments, so I apologize. Patrick, I may have to have you help me. If somebody has a question or a comment, let me know. I don't know why I'm not seeing. Oh, you know what? Hold on one second. I do see them now. If somebody has a question, and I apologize if I've missed it, I do see the chat now. I don't see anything that's come through yet, so I will try to keep my eye on the chat as well. So feel free to ask questions, or I can do a kind of a Q&A at the end as well. So
yeah, I'll do the same as well. I'll make sure I keep an eye on it and let you know if I see anything.
Yeah, I don't see anything right now, so I think we're okay. So and then so as you scroll down, and remember that as you are within the plan, you can click on each person and it will go through and change, if I want to see what Kate's coverage is remaining or her eligibility and as when can she have her next eye exam, or Mike, I would click on that, and as you're in a live environment, it would change the benefits for right here where it says Tom, it would say Kate instead. And then that you're looking and reviewing the detail for specifically for Kate. So just know that when you're in a live demonstration or a live environment, you'll be able to see the different coverages for each person covered on your plan. So I think it's very user friendly, but lots of information in great detail. Also, there's for Lasik, if you're interested in Lasik services, there's information that you can click on for the Lasik services. And again, this is because we have partnerships with providers because you are on a superior vision plan. So just know that this will give you information regarding providers within the network. I should say that it's not part of the plan. It's actually a discount. So it's just kind of a relationship that we have, but it is a partnership that you can find additional information for and regarding Lasik services. I always like to point that out because when I do in-person benefit fairs, it seems like that's a very hot topic, and I get a lot of questions on that. So I always like to point that out, that those, number one, are available, and that we do have a partnership that offers you discounts. And then where you find that information, because that's kind of the second question I get is, well, how would I find a provider? So again, on your dashboard, you would go to the Lasik discount page, and that would walk you through locating providers specifically in your area that may offer you those discounted services. Also, you have discounts on hearing aid devices. You can click to find out more information. Again, it kind of gives you, you can call this 888 number, allows you to locate providers specifically in your area. Again, not everybody needs this service, but it's been a great resource, and we've had some really good feedback. The unique thing about the hearing aid discount program, and again, it's a discount program, is it's available whether your dependents are on the vision plan or not. So if you carry the vision plan, but maybe you don't carry your dependent children or your spouse, they are eligible to use this discount program. So know that those are kind of some additional features and services that are available because you have a superior vision product. Okay. So let's go back up to the top. Probably one of the other, probably should have covered this right up front, is an ID card. So where ID cards are not required and providers are able to locate you in their system without an ID card, oftentimes, we're just so used to having a card. Who's my carrier? I just want to make sure that I know that I'm giving the right information, that I'm referencing the right network. So this will show you a copy of the card. Now yours is going to look a little bit different, obviously, once you pull this up. But the main thing is that you're going to see the information that a provider may ask you to confirm, such as claims address, how to get hold of customer service if they needed to, your information. It's not going to list everybody who's covered on the plan. The ID cards only list the primary person on the plan. So don't expect to see, a card for each person or each member listed that's covered on the plan. They are going to just have the employee's name listed, the group name, and then actually, I do believe that probably the newer version that may be out there on the actual portal may no longer actually have a group number. And that's okay, that if it just has the employee name and the employer name, I should say, group name and employee name, because the group number is not needed. That's not something that you would even need to know, and that's not something that the provider utilizes to confirm your benefits. So just know that you do have the access to pull an ID card, print an ID card through the My Benefits portal, but you also can pull and access one through the mobile app. So same process, kind of go in the registration, you can pull an ID card up. The neat thing about utilizing the mobile app to get an ID card is you can screenshot that ID card and keep it on your phone for future reference. And then you don't actually have to print it out. You could just kind of put it in your wallet on your phone and then access it when you need care or, services or care from a provider. So let's look at the next tab. It's claims. So if you've had claims and there's services out there, then you'll have some claim history. And the claim history is going to be since Auburn has moved over. So 1/1/2023, that's the claim history in detail that you're going to see going forward on the My Benefits page. And so this just kind of shows you, again, these are demonstration only. So you're able to see, who's had services, when they had services, the billed amount, the provider that billed the service, the type of claim, was it an in-network claim or was it an out-of-network claim that was possibly filed for reimbursement? And then you have the ability to print an explanation of benefits. And that's what EOB stands for, is explanation of benefits. And that shows you how the plan paid, what charges were submitted. And a lot of times members will ask for this for when they need to do an FSA claim. So if you're submitting something to your FSA vendor showing proof that you purchased glasses, had an eye exam, and needs to seek reimbursement through your FSA, or just need to support the FSA charge, that's where you're able to go and obtain a copy of your EOB or explanation of benefits to provide to your FSA carrier. So I think that's another highly utilized part of the My Benefits portal and services. So looking up a provider, another, again, great way to look at providers through My Benefits. You always want to make sure that you're using in-network providers. There's a lot of providers out there, and I always tell people, be very careful. Don't say, do you take superior vision? Because taking and participating as a provider are two very different things. So you always want to make sure that they are a participating provider. And that means that they are under contract in the network, will file the claim for you, and you're going to get the most benefit utilizing that provider. If they say, well, yeah, we'll take the insurance, a lot of times what that means is we're not in network, we'll see the services, but you're going to pay out of pocket and have to file an out of network claim. So again, you always want to make sure that they are participating. And by going through the system here, you can, or using the mobile app and doing a provider search, you can do confirmation for those providers in the network. So location name, you would just put your location. You can search by the city, state, or zip. And then if you want to do so many miles, you can say, let me see if it'll let me do it. I'm going to give y'all Dallas, Texas. Actually, I'm going to do something different. Only because I don't know Auburn's. Oh, take that out. I'm going to hope this works the way I want it to work. And again, it says or. It actually doesn't need that. And then I tell individuals, do searches. Like if you're searching for a provider, kind of do a couple of ways. Say you can look up the city, the state, and then do kind of a radius. But sometimes, providers will be in our system under Dr. Joe Smith, but you know them as ABC Eye Care. So be careful searching and only doing a search by the provider's name. I tell people, if you're looking for a provider that you want to see, do a couple of things. Search by the location and say, within typically a zip code search is probably better. I'm going to do a zip code search because it brings it more narrows it down a little bit more. And I know that maybe the provider that I want to see will fall within 10 or 20 miles of that zip code. Usually 5 or 10 is probably what most people will do. But then if I can't find that provider, you can do a provider name search, or you can do their office search. But again, if you start here and you do the provider name search and you don't see them, sometimes take that provider name out and then just try to do a search for just the zip code area. And this may not bring me in. Okay. It didn't bring me in. So it brought me an example. So let's just pretend that Appleton is where I looked, but how I put that information up top will kind of show you the different options that you have. So you can do the like I said, the zip code, 5, 10, however many miles out, or you can do the city and state, or you can do by practice name. If it's ABC Eye Care, like I said, be very careful because sometimes they're contracted under a different name. They may be in the network, but not under that name. Or you can do a provider name search, or if you're looking for a specific language, a provider maybe within a certain area that has a certain language that you would like to have spoken, you can also filter by that. And so, again, this is our demo, so we're just doing the example. So this will show you how it'll come up, and you can see the different information. So you have the provider's office, the address. You can view it on the map if you choose to do so. And then it shows you the different services that are offered, as well as the language that are spoken at that office. So, and you can kind of see where they have different services. Some, they do the routine vision exam. Some it just dispense eyewear. So, at that particular location, the provider may be outside or maybe, contracted separately than the actual, what we call brick and mortar, the actual store itself. And that's common. If you see a lot of times the provider or the eye doctor is the doors on the outside, get your exam, and then, you go on inside to actually pick out frames and contacts. And that's why you see this kind of split that way, to where some show, okay, we do a routine service, and some show that we just offer the contacts and the glasses. So just kind of look there, and it will tell you off the services offered. If a provider doesn't list that they offer routine eye exams, that location doesn't offer routine eye exams. You would have to find the location associated with that office that does locate that does have the eye exams. for in-network services. Okay. So again, really easy. I think user friendly, but a great resource. And I do always encourage individuals, if you are looking for a provider for the first time, to come to the site, whether it be the mobile app or it be through the online My Benefits portal, and confirm that your provider is in network and that he or she provides all the services that you are seeking or needing at this time. So whether it be eye exam, or if they dispense eyewear, contacts, and so on. So just know that all that information should be housed for you under the Find a Provider tab. If you find that you've obtained services, or you do have the option to go to an out-of-network provider, just know that your benefits are going to be paid at a reduced benefit level, because it will be on the out-of-network side of charges, reimbursed, and allowances. So you normally, when you go out of network, you do have to pay out of pocket. But then if you're seeking reimbursement, you can go to the Forms tab and you can click on the Member Reimbursement Claim Form, complete the claim form online, and actually add your paid receipts and all detailed information showing the procedure codes that were done at the time of service. Attach that information and submit your form online. Okay. And this just kind of shows you what that form is. You can also print it if you choose to do so. But again, I think most individuals, now that you can fill everything out, attach your receipts, and submit it online, most are usually submitting that way because it's just a little bit quicker process. Okay. Nominate a provider. Again, if you have a provider that maybe you have seen for a while, they're not showing to be in the network, you do have the ability to go online. And we always encourage that if you do have a provider that you recommend, that you do a provider nomination. So that lets our network development team reach out to that provider and speak with that provider to see if they have interest in joining the network. And then if there were need for a HIPAA authorization form, again, there's one of those available out here as well. And just shows you that information and the process that you would do to complete and submit that. Common FAQs. So main thing, the customer service number. That's going to be referenced throughout the site, throughout the My Benefits portal, and also here. That's a very common question and highly used resource. So know that if you're looking for the customer service number, you can come in and go straight to the FAQ page or tab and locate that information. And then, just kind of some common language information I've referenced: in network, out of network. And this just kind of shows you, what's the difference? What does that mean? Why do I have interest in staying in network versus going out of network? And how does that benefit me to do so? And so that would help you kind of get some more detail regarding the language within the industry or your plan that we utilize and that you'll commonly hear. Will I receive an ID card? Will my dependents? So again, if you forget what I mentioned earlier, that the ID card will just have the primary member listed, it won't have the dependents listed, you can go back here and it will go back over that information stating, that it's just the primary and it's just one ID card. If you need additional cards, again, you can print or obtain one through the My Benefits portal or through the mobile app. So, Lasik, again, just some really good references, things that are commonly used, information that we will typically get a lot of questions on. That's what's going to be located under the FAQ page. So just a good resource as well. And then contact us. Again, your customer service number will be listed. And then if you have some questions or concerns, you can submit a message here as well and obtain additional feedback and communication to your questions through this contact us site. So I think that really covers everything, unless I've said something that draws questions, or if you have questions on it. Again, we will make all of this information available at a later date so that you can utilize this throughout the year and not just during open enrollment, but have this as kind of a guide and a resource to go back and look. But again, I think that the My Benefits portal has a lot of great information. I think it's very user friendly, and mainly this dashboard page is really where I think most of the information that you're going to be utilizing is going to be generated from. But as you go through the view benefits over here, remember on a live environment, when you click on the view benefits, it's going to change the benefits that are actually displaying down below for each to reflect each dependent or member that you have selected. So
Kimberly, the only comment I have is if you can click on the claims tab.
Okay.
And then you could see the blue spot where you would submit that out of network claim. That was the only comment I had. So you would click on that and it would upload the forms that were Kimberly just showed you. And then you would click, yep, you would click who the claims were.
Okay. I missed that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh no, that's okay.
And that's exactly why I have her on the call.
Yeah, no,
because I have not done this, so I don't ever want to miss it. So it's like, again, it's just it's a very, I think it's kind of a very user friendly system. So you can just kind of submit the claim for whomever you're needing to submit the claim for, and it'll show you here if you need to change the patient, what the date of service is. And again, it'll just kind of walk you through the information that's going to be needed. You can add a claim service, again, attach the receipt, which is very important. I think that's probably one of the things that holds claim reimbursement up the most, is that a detailed receipt showing the procedure codes of what services were done, as well as a paid receipt showing that the services were paid for by the member. Those sometimes don't get attached, and so those will hold it up for reimbursement. So as long as you attach all of your receipts, all the information, and then view claim summary. So Tom's done a really great job. Tom is the member, an eye exam reimbursement, and then you can see here that the PDF indicates that Tom attached all the receipts required, and then we're going to submit a claim, and we're going to acknowledge it, and that means the claim has been submitted, and you will get a confirmation at the top that's showing your claim has been submitted. If you don't get this confirmation, know that something did not fully process and generate as it should. So go back into it and see, what held that up, what you need to change, what information is missing. You can also print this page. I always encourage that you do that we have a record. But again, once you submit it, it's going to be also on your policy information page under the claims. You'll see that claim is out there, either pending or completed. So you'll also have record of it there. That was a good call out. Thank you. Because that's a lot of steps. That's a lot of good information right there. Because again, most of our members do not have out-of-network claims, but there are oftentimes, because you do have the flexibility, which is also a luxury part of the plan, to to see in or out-of-network providers. And sometimes we do have members that seek services from an out-of-network provider, but then they take their prescription and fill the prescription in network. So that gives them the least amount of out-of-pocket expense, at least on their hardware or their contacts. So if that's an option and that's a service that you choose, just know that this is an easy way to submit the claim online for that eye exam, so that you can get your out-of-network reimbursement and out-of-pocket back quickly.